the two leaders for a ball club that is trying to get back into the playoffs. Jonquel Jones and A'ja Wilson. And here is for New York, guarded by Evans, and that's the minus part about Evans is she's not tall.
She is not tall, but you could feel her to start defensively. I think Becky Hammond is okay with that layup. There needs to be some help there, but you feel the pressure and the physicality defensively from Dana Evans. That's what she wants to see.
She talked about that, talks about the game in real estate terms, and that's also why you want Dana Evans in there, because she can hit threes. She had 2 of them against Connecticut after being in a slump.
She can knock down threes, and Dana is never lacking for confidence.
Neesman, who is very good at movement, something that Sandy Brondello talked about a lot, and that's a great block for Nalissa Smith. These two teams meeting for the 3rd time this season, first time in Vegas. New York won the first 2 games. A'ja, nothing but net.
Silky smooth turnaround jump shot in that mid-range area, and it's so important for Vegas to get A'ja Wilson going early. Of course, New York is going to focus on her defensively.
Good job. Jackie Young's just putting her arms up in the passing lane, forced that turnover. Chelsea Gray, and this is a great start for Vegas.
Becky Hammond often talks about punching first, and this is what she means. They got off to a slow start in their game against Connecticut. They insert Dana Evans into the starting lineup. You could feel the defensive intensity rise.
It's an 8-0 run after the Natasha Cloud basket, and there's Neesman with the good pass, and that's another thing. You talk about how good that the front line is. Both Jones and Neesman are excellent passers.
That chemistry between the two of them really developing here for the New York Liberty. It started in their time playing together internationally.
Neesman playing for the Belgian national team that won the Euro Championship, and there's a Neesman pass into Ionescu.
And really good back cut by Sabrina Ionescu. If you're Dana Evans, you do want to be aggressive, but be aware of the back cut, and your entire team has to have your back if you're going to put that much pressure on.
Right through the wickets of Smith.
This is just an excellent find here. Pressure from Dana Evans, but Emma Neesman is an outstanding passer. At her size, I love watching Emma play, and happy to see her back in the W.
You see she can bring the ball up the floor as well. Neesman been out for the last 3 years, playing overseas, and also concentrating with the Belgian national team. JJ with the miss, and here's Jackie Young.
Vegas was switching on that possession. We'll see how long they can switch, considering the size advantage for New York on the front line.
You can tell that Chelsea Gray thought that felt good coming off her hand. She's got 5 early points. Keep an eye on New York as well. They played in Los Angeles last night. Scored a season-high 105 points. Neesman doesn't look tired
at all. Just a feathery touch on her shot anywhere around the basket, coming off of a season-high 24 points. She has scored in double figures in every game since joining the Liberty. That's not easy to do with the new team.
Just fit right in seamlessly. Nalissa Smith with the drive, a little bit too strong off the glass.
But I like the 2-player game, the clear out on the left side with Nalissa Smith and A'ja Wilson.
Neesman posting up Gray, who was able to knock it away.
And that is something Las Vegas worked on today in shoot-around, denying that interior pass.
Because once it gets in there, it's usually not a good result. Wow, Jackie Young, how about that?
Jackie splitting the defense, excellent move, attacking the basket.
Thievish over to Jones, they lost sight of her, and Peg.
Yeah, not sure if A'ja Wilson and Chelsea Gray were looking to trap there, but that's what it ended up as, a nice slip to the bucket and score in the paint.
Very good starts offensively for both teams. New York was on fire their entire game last night in LA. Thievish got hit as she went into the lane. Chelsea Gray raises her hand and says it was her. Let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. On Friday, Ion's doubleheader, Washington at Indiana, and Vegas will be in Phoenix. And then on CBS Saturday, the Liberty will be at Minnesota. For more on those games, go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app.
Yeah, I think New York and Minnesota play like 3 or 4 times in a 3-week span.
Yeah, they're all clumped together, considering they didn't even play their first games against each other until late in the season. And we all anxiously await for Nafisa Collier to come back. And Stewie, we're hoping maybe by the end of the month.
Yeah, she said she's coming back before her birthday, which I think is August 27th. So we'll see.
That's coming up, a couple of weeks away. Jewell Loyd has checked into the game for the first time. There she is. Came over in the off season, and her numbers have gone up since she's come off the bench.
You see how Vegas is looking for early offense. They have the quickness advantage, the speed advantage off of the bounce, and they've been able to get some easy ones early in the clock.
Kennedy Burke missing from the top of the key. Burke coming back after missing the last few games of the Herd Cap. Vegas up 2 as we take our first timeout.
She sets the tone and the example for this team and her teammates every night.
Second in the league in scoring behind Nafisa Collier. Second in rebounding behind Angel Reese. Another terrific season. Gray with the miss. A lot on the shoulders of A'ja Wilson. She has been the steady one in this season that you mentioned. It's had some ups and downs. Jones rolling to the basket and count it.
Jonquel Jones in a 2-man game in the middle of the floor is tough to guard. She is a handful at 6'6", with size. She's strong backside that can contest Jonquel.
You see the season for Jones, who head coach Sandy Brondello says is still trying to hit her stride after being out with an injury. Got her 99th career double-double. Last night in LA, looking to get to the century mark. And look at this matchup. Jones and Wilson, and A'ja just back-rimmed it.
But I like the decision by A'ja Wilson to play in the mid-range against Jonquel because she knows Jonquel has a size advantage around the bucket.
Liberty have gotten all of their points in the paint, field goal-wise, until that three-point shot by Johannes.
Well, you definitely can't go under a screen on Marine Johannes. She's had multiple three-point makes in the last couple of games.
Such a spark off the bench for Coach Brondello. That's some good creativity by Wilson to get around Jones.
Creativity and good footwork.
Yeah, not bad at all. Burke spinning. The New York team that only has 9 available players today. That's a perfect pass to Jewell Loyd, but she was unable to put it home. Behind the back, Johannes Kafidas over to JJ. And a good box out by Bell allowed Jackie Young to get the rebound. A little step back, a little bit too much. The team also without Sabali and Izzy Harrison, as well as Brianna Stewart. 3 players who did not even make the trip out west. Shot clock winding down now. Burke.
That's the aspect of Kennedy Burke's game that I think goes undersold. She's shooting a high percentage from 3. She's a versatile defender, but she could also get going downhill with size.
She's leading the league right now in 3-point percentage as play started tonight.
You see the crowd really collapse in on Jackie Young there.
Terrific pace to this game as Jonquel Jones finishes. Becky Hammond calls a timeout.
There has not been an answer in the middle of the floor for Jonquel Jones.
Yeah, Coach Hammond unhappy with those last few possessions, talking about quick passing to shots and turnovers. And she looked at her players and said, calm down and execute and stop playing in a hurry. This is not a team that you can beat being in a hurry.
No, I would agree. I think there were a few possessions where Vegas took the first available shot. That was working in the beginning, but you have to also know when you got to slow down and run some offense.
They have now gone 2 for 8 in their last 10 shots. Bell picks up her second foul after getting tangled up with Meeseman, who got a nice giggle out of it. 2 quick fouls for Kirsten Bell. Becky Hammond went over 100 career wins earlier this season. Kia Stokes is going to come in. She's not played the last couple of games for Vegas. As a starter earlier in the year. Defense by 9.
Gotta get the ball to Asia Wilson, but good steal by Johannes, who came out of nowhere.
Bell on the move. There's Wilson. She took it right to Talbot, who commits the foul.
New York has been able to scramble a little bit defensively and wreak havoc. Agree with everything Becky Hammond said in terms of slowing down, making intentional good passes, using your pass fakes, just being aware of what the defense is, and getting Asia Wilson involved.
Yeah, that's all. That always should be top of the list. As Wilson heads to the free throw line, gets there a lot, averages 7 free throw attempts per game. This is the first Liberty foul of the game that was just called on Talbot. Our next ABC WNBA game is Sunday afternoon, and it's right here in Las Vegas. Dallas will be here. Yes, Paige Becker, it's good to have her back. She's been dealing with a bit of a bulky back, so we'll have the Wings and the Aces here for you Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and how about Dallas's win at Indiana? Really impressed. Lee Giroux was outstanding. That's not an easy environment to go in on the road and get a win, even though obviously Indiana's very undermanned right now at the point guard spot.
Definitely a big win for Dallas. Very much on the outside looking in, and that should be a 3-second violation on Sab, and it is. Roy Gobey and Mai Forsberg and Ashley Gloss, our trio of officials this evening. As Asia's going to get a rest. She doesn't get a lot of rest. She's averaging about 31 minutes per game. And she seems like she's in great condition, right? That's one thing that Sandy Brondello talked about.
I mean, arguably the most well-conditioned player in the league. She does not take a possession off, and that's why she's able to dominate on both ends of the floor because, yeah, her conditioning is top tier.
Jackie Young had Meeseman checked her, took her to the basket.
And these minutes are really important without Asia Wilson on the floor. Where does Las Vegas get their offense? Can they keep their defensive intensity?
Stokes guarding Meeseman now. Stokes is not going to give you much, if any, offense. Shot clock winding down. Meeseman just needs a little bit of space.
And the floor spacing for the Liberty was excellent on that possession. Emma Meeseman knows right where to get in the slot to be open for that pass where the defense can't recover.
Such a smart player. Off-balance shot. That is exactly what Chelsea Gray is known for as the first quarter comes to a close.
We're happy to have her back.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. Sandy Brondello's team scoring 105 points last night in LA. They didn't get into Vegas until 1:30 in the morning. Did not take their shoot-around time this morning. Did a little film work, a little walkthrough. And so far, so good. Pam Ward, LaChana Robinson, and Brooke Wasbro joining you from Las Vegas. 42nd straight home sellout for the Aces. Still one of the toughest.
Everything that Sandy Brondello described is what they need in a game like this. And her ability to come into the post in particular where they're missing Izzy and they're missing Sabli and they're missing Brianna Stewart. That is really important.
9 from the outside. Very important three-point shooter, but she has now missed her last 7 threes from the floor, extending back to 3 games. And Esther only took 1 shot in the first quarter. She hit it. Finds Niesemann, and that is a quickly developing great duo right there.
It really is, and especially when Vegas is switching, because pretty much Emma Niesemann in the middle of the floor.
First foul on Young. Rebecca Gardner with the ball. Gets it over to Niesemann, who spins away and spun too much. That's a travel.
And good job by Vegas bringing a couple of players to crowd that space for Emma and take away some of what looks like an open lane.
That is the 4th turnover for New York. Vegas has missed 9 of its last 12 shots.
They need to get a good offensive look here. Chelsea Gray got it going in the first quarter. They need to be able to go to their sets or just go to Chelsea Gray in the middle of the floor again.
It's almost like she thrives off of contact. Talbot getting her a little bit with the body. She just bounced off and buried the shot. Now Gray is being very vocal on the defensive end. Shot clock at 5 now for Sabali. Her first 3 attempt, a little bit too strong. Asia Wilson on the bench for Vegas. Lloyd, that's one of her spots. Selects that baseline free.
Excellent ball movement by Las Vegas. You saw 2 defenders in the middle that didn't communicate, so there was no one in the corner left to close out on Jewel Lloyd.
Lloyd taking more threes this year, percentage-wise, than any time in her career. That's a good cut, boy. New York looking sweet on that possession, finished by Johannes.
An aspect of Marine Johannes' game that we don't talk about enough, her off-the-ball movement, always moving, trying to get open, looking to screen, looking to cut.
Johannes part of the French national team, and I think Chelsea Gray's feeling it a little bit.
It could be a long night for New York with Chelsea Gray hitting shots like that, reminiscent of her finals MVP run a couple seasons ago.
Vegas back on top. Gray already into double figures, and here's a foul on Lloyd.
I don't know her. Didn't matter.
And that's one of the factors that Becky Hammond talked about with Gray, as you mentioned, that a lot of teams are putting 3s or 4s taller defenders on her, and it takes away her sight line. She's such an elite passer. You see Niesemann guarding her now. Cloud, who's a terrific defender. Shot clock winding down. Asia's back in the game. Nye just saved it. Gray. Wilson brought the ball down, got hacked, and hit it.
The minute Asia Wilson checks back in the game, her presence is felt. They need her to get into a rhythm down the stretch of the regular season.
She has struggled to get into double figures over the last 17 games, and look, she's already got 11 points. She and Asia Wilson have combined for 19 of Vegas's 29, the big 1-2 punch for them.
And there has to be a third player. Yes, there's Asia Wilson and Jackie Young that consistently score double figures, but the way that teams in this league can put points up, you've got to have that third player get into double figures. And Jewel Lloyd has been doing that off the bench as well.
We thought she would definitely be the third when she came over from Seattle in the offseason. Kelsey Plum right now playing for LA. And LA, boy, that's a team that's really coming on as of late after a slow start. Gray, why not? Over JJ.
Yeah, I think that Chelsea Gray should have waited for that switch to materialize and got the ball to Asia Wilson.
New York having trouble getting the ball in the basket in this quarter. Burke fires away. Nye puts it on the floor and then missed the layup. New York just 2 points so far in this quarter. 1 for 6 from the floor. Cloud to Jones, who passed it out with the double coming, and wow, how nice to have a safety valve like Emma Miesemann just hanging out on the three-point line.
Well, it starts with the attention that Jonquel Jones draws in the paint. And Tasha Cloud as well. That is what spaces the floor. And Emma Miesemann, again, she knows where to be, Pam.
Always seems to be in the right place. Gets another rebound. Cloud guarded by Lloyd. Zipped right on by her and was able to finish, even with A'ja Wilson closing.
Jewel Lloyd really opened up. I mean, it was almost like she was expecting early help.
Aaliyah Nye, the rookie out of Alabama, knocks down the three.
Oh, man, Emma Miesemann kind of faked a handoff, if you could even call it that, and slipped right to the bucket.
Oh, he's so crafty. Came out of Belgium. Was a second-round pick by Washington back in 2013. Finals MVP off the bench for Washington in 2019. Ooh. Emma. Posting up. And stuffed by Gray. Ionescu delivers.
Textbook help on the backside of that switch, but then you have to get out on the three ball.
That's what's so dangerous about New York. And the best three-point shooting teams, they make about 10 a game. Phoebish back in for New York. Another three for Sabrina is well off, and the crowd will let her know about it. Ionescu having an outstanding season. Career high 19.5 points per game that she's averaging. Leads her team in steals. Three-point shooting.
The crowd is roaring loud tonight. Hearts are pounding, burning bright and bright. The fields alive, electric light. We rise, we run, we won't back down. This is our moment, this is our crown. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, hearts and stone. Victory's calling, it's in our bones. Sweat is dripping, breath is fire. Push the limit, climb up higher. Every step builds our empire. We charge, we chase, we're here to claim. We're the thunder, we're the flame. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, hearts and soul. Victory's calling, it's in our bones. It's in our bones.
Looking for somewhere to go. Foul.
Sweat is dripping, breath is fire. Push the limit, climb up higher. Every step builds our empire.
No help in sight.
We charge.